Today, the Commission wishes to update you and the country on the nationwide display of the National Voters Registers and the registers for the special interest groups and other matters connected to the implementation of the roadmap for the general elections. In preparation for the said general elections, and in accordance with the Section 26 of the Electoral Commission Act, the Electoral Commission has appointed the period of 25th April, which is today, up to the 15th of May, as the period for the statutory display of the National Voters Register. Furthermore, as at the commencement of this display exercise, the statistics stand as follows. Number of cities and districts in Uganda, 146. Number of counties, 312. Number of constituencies, 353. Number of sub-counties, towns or municipal divisions, 2,191. The number of parishes, 10,716. The number of villages, 71,208. Number of polling stations, 38,315. The display of the National Voters Register shall begin at 8 a.m. and end at 6 p.m. on each of the appointed dates, including weekends, at all the polling stations throughout Uganda, except for a few areas where the exercise is delayed or will not commence today due to technical glitches encountered during the production of the voters' registers for those areas. Now, the areas which will not commence or have the commencement of the exercise today include the following, or are the following. Arua City, 2 polling stations. Buikwe, 1 polling station. Buvuma, 1 polling station. Fort Portal City, 3 polling stations. Kampala, 18 polling stations. Kasanda, 2 polling stations. Kikube, 15 polling stations. Kiriandongo, 78 polling stations. Kitagwenda, 1 polling station. Masaka City, 2 polling stations. Mbarara City, 48 polling stations. Mitiana District, 370 polling stations. Mpigi, 46 polling stations. Mukono, 32 polling stations. Wakiso, 13 polling stations, all totaling to 620 polling stations, where the display will not begin today, but will be conducted at the date, on the days to be announced in the future, in the short future. The above polling stations represent 1.6% of the total number of polling stations across the country. As I said, the total number of polling stations is 38,315. Hence, 98.4% of the polling stations across the country have commenced the display process today. 98.4 have commenced, except the 1.6% in the areas I've enumerated above.
The Uganda Communications Commission is here to protect integrity for our entertainment spaces. We want a safe, respectful environment for everyone. By working together with artists, event promoters, local governments, and security agencies, we are ensuring that public entertainment stays within the bounds of public morality and law. Under the Stage Plays in Public Entertainment Act, the Commission now requires all event organizers to secure an entertainment permit before staging any performance or advertisement. Getting your permit is easy and can be done online through our e-services platform. Security agencies, including the Uganda Police, will be verifying permits using our new QR code system, ensuring that only authorized events take place. Together, we can create a positive entertainment environment that reflects our values and keeps us proud. Secure your permit today. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Communications Commission. Communication for all.
The Commission, however, wishes to affirmatively assure all voters and all stakeholders in those areas that they too will be accorded the full statutory 21 days for display of the register when it commences. So when on the day we shall announce for the commencement of the display in those areas, we shall count the 21 days from the date, from the adjusted date or from the commencement date in those areas. So I want to assure all the voters and the stakeholders in those areas, they are not being left out of the display exercise because this is mandatory and is their right to have it. The Commission therefore wishes to apologize for the inconveniences occasioned to our stakeholders, and we are taking all necessary steps to ensure that the display in those areas is also undertaken as soon as possible. The Commission has also appointed the period 25th April, which is today, to 8th May, as the period for the display of the voters' registers for the special interest groups at village level. For the National Voters Register, which I've mentioned, which is starting today, ending on 15th, the display is at a polling station. But for the special interest groups, their registers will be displayed at village level. And the special interest groups comprise the youth, persons with disability, and the older persons. The purpose of this display exercise is the following. 1, to enable voters check for the correctness of their particulars on the voters register. 2, for the voters to confirm that their correct photographs appear against their names or particulars on the register. 3, if there is anyone who has an objection to the inclusion or appearance of any person on the register, then that person should raise that objection at that display center. And the grounds for objection are the following. 1, that this person is now dead, but he's still or she's still on the register. Let him or her be removed, because we buried him or her the other day, is dead, should be removed. Then 2, those who are under 18 years of age, the voters or the people, the citizens can go and say, no, but this person is a child of so and so, and I know he or she is below 18 years of age. Why? And yet the voting age is 18 years. The person should be removed. 3, they can also raise an objection that this person no longer resides in this parish or does not originate from our parish. So why are they in this register? They do not, this person does not reside or originate from this parish. Then 4, if a vote appears more than once on the register, then that person should also be recommended for removal. So these are the 4 categories that people are supposed to recommend for removal from the voters register. So the exercise, therefore, is meant to ensure that we have a clean voters register.
The Uganda Communications Commission is here to protect integrity of our entertainment spaces. We want a safe, respectful environment for everyone. By working together with artists, event promoters, local governments, and security agencies, we are ensuring that public entertainment stays within the bounds of public morality and law. Under the Stage Plays and Public Entertainment Act, the Commission now requires all event organizers to secure an entertainment permit before staging any performance or advertisement. Getting your permit is easy and can be done online through our e-services platform. Security agencies, including the Uganda Police, will be verifying permits using our new QR code system, ensuring that only authorized events take place. Together, we can create a positive entertainment environment that reflects our values and keeps us proud. Secure your permit today. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Communications Commission. Communication for all.
During this exercise, the Commission will also display the lists of citizens of voting age. I want you to note this. We shall also be displaying the lists of citizens of voting age who are registered, who are verified and registered as citizens by NIRA during their exercise of continuous registration of citizens. But at the time of registration with the NIRA, they did not indicate their preferred polling stations for purposes of voting. So we shall have that list also of those citizens who originate from those parishes, or who at the time of registration with the NIRA, they indicated their home of residence is in such and such a parish, and we shall therefore put those names on those polling stations to enable those citizens to come and say, yes, I want to vote from this polling station. So we're giving them an opportunity. The list of affected citizens, that is those without polling stations, will be displayed at each parish or ward throughout the period of the display exercise. The list of affected citizens, those who are without polling stations but are confirmed citizens by NIRA, will be displayed at each parish or ward. The affected citizen who may not find his or her name on the register, that the register being displayed at the polling station established for his or her village of residence, should proceed to check on the list of citizens who have no polling stations that will be displayed at the parish by the parish election officer. So any citizen who may not find his name on the voters register, check on that list. The list will be displayed separately. As I said, you have the register, then the list beside the register. The Commission has also provided an online search for confirmation or selection of a polling station. If a citizen does not find a polling station against his or her name on the citizens list for his or her parish, he or she should search for it online on the EC's web portal, www.ec.or.ug/register. I repeat, www.ec.or.ug.register. If the name is found to exist on the portal but lacks a polling station, he or she will be able to go through a step-by-step process to select the district, constituency, sub-county, and parish or ward in order to specify and assign a polling station to his or a polling station to his or her record. As indicated above, in the case of special interest groups, the display at the village level is scheduled to commence today and conclude on 8th May 2025. This will enable persons comprising the special interest groups. I needed the sun. This will enable persons comprising the special interest groups to check for the correctness of their particulars on their respective special interest group register. In the case of registers for youth, the voters will be able to verify that their date of birth is correct. Remember, under the law, for you to qualify to participate in youth elections, you must be aged 18 years and above, but less than 30 years at the time of cutoff of registration of voters. That is 17th February 2025. You must have been below 30 years by the time we ended the registration of voters on the 25th of February 25. Secondly, in the case of registers for persons with disabilities, the voters will be able to confirm that the particulars of that person, that is the nature of disability, were correctly captured on the voters register. In the case of older persons, the voters will be able to verify that their date of birth is correct. According to the law, persons who qualify to be considered older persons for purposes of elections must be aged 60 years and above at the time of cutoff of registration of voters. That is, once again, 17th February 2025. So older persons who qualify to participate in elections for older persons are those who are 60 years and above. We want the people to note that any eligible voter who applied for registration but whose particulars are missing on the voters register will also be able to present his or her case for inclusion on the register. If you know you voted in 2021, but when you go to the display center, you check the register, your name is not there. Or if you applied during the recent update exercise to be included on the register or to be registered as a voter, your name is not there. So you can raise the objection or you can raise a complaint to the display officer and your particulars will be recorded and we shall verify whether indeed you did apply to be a voter and include you on the register. The Parish Award Tribunal. The purpose of this supplementary display exercise is to enable, now after the display exercise, the lists of persons recommended for inclusion or deletion or removal, if any, from the National Voters Register shall be displayed for 10 days from 16th May to 26th May at each parish or ward headquarters in the whole country. The purpose of this supplementary display exercise is to enable any person who may have been wrongly recommended for deletion or removal from the register to raise an objection to the parish or ward tribunal. If someone said you died because you have not been seen in the area for so many years and you should be removed, you go to this tribunal and say, I'm still alive, don't remove me. The parish ward or tribunal shall consider and make the final decision concerning recommendations for inclusion, deletion, or correction as made by the public. For avoidance of doubt, the parish or ward tribunal is appointed by the magistrate of the area. That is according to the law. and is comprised of 2 elders who are 60 years and above, 1 male and 1 female, and 3 other members appointed in consultation with the political parties and organizations participating in the elections in the area. So it is a 5-member tribunal, 2 elders and 3 other members appointed in consultation with the political parties which are participating in the elections in that area. At the end of the entire exercise, all returns will be retrieved from the field and the recommendations effected by the Electoral Commission. Thereafter, a final voters register to be used on polling for all the elections for the 2025-26 general elections will then be produced. The display process is the final leg of ensuring we have a credible voters register before we get to the polling days for the respective elective positions. The general public should also carefully note the following. 1, that this is a very important exercise which could determine whether one will vote on polling day or not. So we want to urge all the voters, even if you know you've been on the register, you have been voting 2016, 2011, 2021, it costs you nothing to go and check whether you are still on the register or not. If you don't, it will be too late. Once we issue the final register, it will be too late for us to correct any anomaly regarding your name or your votability. Secondly, fresh applications for registration as a voter or application for transfer to another voting location shall not be accepted during the display exercise. This exercise is not meant to give opportunity to those who may have missed out on the update exercise or to register as voters or to apply for transfer. That period ended. We are now only verifying and correcting if there are any errors or omissions or commissions on the register and removing those who are not eligible, not to give opportunity for those who are seeking to be registered as voters. Thirdly, persons who have applied and changed their particulars on the National Identification Register, that is with the NIRA. For instance, the names or date of birth are required to notify the Electoral Commission in writing about the changes. Such persons will be required to provide relevant supporting documents to our display officers so that the changes are effected on the voters register. Another point to be noted is that the display officers shall be physically stationed at each respective polling station throughout the entire display period. This will enable voters to conveniently locate their polling station, especially those which might have been affected during the reorganization exercise of polling stations. Another point to note is that in the case of display of the special interest groups registers, the display officers shall be physically stationed at the display center in each village throughout the entire display period, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on each of the appointed dates, including weekends. The registers for special interest groups will be displayed for a much shorter period because the elections for older persons, the youth, and persons with disabilities committees are supposed to be conducted earlier than the others. Those are the ones which are supposed to commence or to start off the process of polling. The display of the voters' registers shall be conducted with the utmost impartiality, and officials of the Commission shall allow any interested member of the public, including agents of political parties, to witness the exercise. The Commission also wishes the public to note that we are conducting an extensive public awareness and mobilization campaign through print, electronic and digital media as well as other public engagement initiatives to achieve high stakeholder participation in the cleaning of the National Voters Register and registers for special interest groups, beginning with this press conference we are holding now. And all complaints arising from the display exercise of the National Voters Register shall be addressed to the returning officer of the respective electoral district and shall be handled following or in line with Article 61, Clause 1F of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Section 15 of the Electoral Commission Act. As already indicated, the Electoral Commission is implementing the roadmap for the 2025-26 general elections, which include presidential, parliamentary, and local government council elections. Section 16 of the Electoral Commission Act provides for the accreditation of representatives of political parties, civil society organizations, and any other duly registered institutions or any individual to observe the electoral activities. Accordingly, for purposes of transparency, the Electoral Commission will accredit international and national observers to observe the various activities being undertaken during the electoral process. We therefore invite expressions or applications of interest from individuals, duly registered national organizations and institutions who wish to observe the said processes. Interested organizations or institutions or individuals should submit their applications to the office of the chairperson, Electoral Commission, through the online application system accessible at www.ec.or.ug/accreditation in time to participate in the above activities. Invitations to international and regional bodies or organizations, including diplomatic missions, will be channeled through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Please note that political parties and organizations participating in the said elections may appoint agents to observe the electoral activities. It is their discretion, really. However, applicants should provide evidence in the following. 1. Prove that governance is a key aspect of their activities. 2. Demonstrate a track record of credibility. 3. Demonstrate neutrality in the electoral process. And 4. Show the ability to submit timely written observation reports. Organizations and institutions shall be required to prove that their registration status with the respective regulatory authorities is up to date. The Electoral Commission shall provide all those accredited organizations with written clearance, relevant information, and identification tags to observe the various activities of electoral processes. Successful applicants shall be required to do the following: abide by the laws of Uganda, comply with election observer guidelines and code of conduct to be issued by the Electoral Commission. In the case of organizations and institutions, they should provide the Commission with the names of the individuals, the names and I think photographs of the passport photos of the individuals to be accredited. They should be able to meet all the operational expenses, and they should submit a report at the end of the activity. Interested organizations and institutions and individuals should submit their applications to the Commission in time so as to participate in the activities as indicated in the roadmap, which can be viewed and downloaded. The roadmap can be viewed at www.ec.or.ug. In conclusion, a clean voters register is a cornerstone for conducting peaceful, free, and fair, credible elections. The display exercise gives the electorate an opportunity to participate in the cleaning of the National Voters Register. Voters are particularly urged to report or to go to their respective polling stations during this period and check for the correctness of their particulars on the register. Thank you for listening to me, for God and my country.